Tenneco Clean Air India, I would like to thank each one of you for taking out time to attend the press meet of Tenneco Clean Air India Limited IPO. We at Axis Capital feel extremely privileged and honored to be associated with Tenneco Clean Air. Tenneco Clean Air India is positioned at the forefront of India's automotive transformation, combining global expertise with local excellence. As part of the US headquartered Tenneco Group, they bring decades of global innovation in clean air, powertrain, and suspension solutions tailored to meet the need of Indian OEM and export markets. They are the largest supplier of clean air solutions to Indian commercial vehicle, passenger vehicle, and off-highway segments OEMs, and the largest supplier of shock absorbers and struts to Indian passenger vehicle OEMs. Backed by 12 manufacturing facilities, advanced R&D centers, and long-standing relationship with India's leading automotive brands, Tenneco Clean Air India continue to deliver technology-driven, sustainable solutions that enable cleaner, more efficient mobility for the future. Before we move forward, I would like to take this opportunity to shine the spotlight on the management team. Today we have here Mr. Arvind Chandrasekharan. He is a full-time director and CEO. Mr. Mahendra Chhabra, he is a Chief Financial Officer. Mr. Rishi Verma, he is a President India. And Mr. Deepak Garg from Strategy team, he is a Director. Now I would like to highlight the deal specs about the IPO. This is a 100% OFS issue of rupees 3,600 crore at the upper end of the price band. Price band of the issue is rupees 378 to 397 per equity share, with bid lot size of 37 equity shares and multiple thereof. Issue opens to public on Wednesday, 12 November 2025 and close on Friday, 14 November 2025 with anchor schedule on Tuesday, 11 November 2025. Listing is tentatively scheduled on 19 November 2025.
I'm Arvind Chandrasekharan, CEO and full-time director of Tenneco Clean Air. Mahendra Chhabra is our CFO, Rishi Verma is our president, and Deepak Garg heads M&A for India. I'll just tell you a little bit about our parent, our parentage. So we are a $17 billion US company, right? Headquartered in Michigan. So we're a fairly large company, 180 manufacturing plants across 30 countries, 40 tech centers servicing over 100 plus customers. So you can see from our size that we are across the world in all regions, US, Europe, India, China, and other countries as well. If you want to think of Tenneco, you have to think of R&D and technology. Okay? If you have to walk out of this room with just one sentence in mind about Tenneco, it's R&D and technology. Our company, we have access to 5,000 patents and 7,500 trademarks. Which you can imagine, for me and our team based in India, it is such a bonanza to have access to all the technologies of the parent, be it Tenneco Europe, Tenneco US, even Tenneco China. We are able to bring these technologies to India to help our India-based OEM customers. Our automotive customers all want one thing. And what is that one thing? They want technology. They want technology and they want it affordable, right? So that's where we shine. We are also a house of brands. You might have heard of Champion spark plugs. You might have heard of Monroe suspension. In fact, some of our brands in our house of brands are even better known than the Tenneco name itself. If you look at our various product categories, we have two broad categories: engine-related products and chassis-related products. Under engine products, we have clean air, which is basically exhaust system, like catalytic converters. Under engine powertrain, we have sealings, bearings, ignition, products like that. And under chassis products, we have what we call performance solutions, which are basically braking, suspension solutions. The latter being the more prominent one. We call that advanced ride technologies. So a little bit of history on this company. Late 2022, Apollo Private Equity acquired this parent, this entire $17 billion company. And they brought in Jim Voss, who you saw in the video. And Jim Voss, with his new executive leadership team, did a complete cultural transformation of the entire company, including India. And in the last 3 years have completely transformed the company from a factory level to improve the margin significantly. And when I say transformation of the margins, these are hardcore factory level transformations. The entire P&L, raw material cost improvement, labor cost improvement, conversion cost, variable overhead, fixed overhead, SG&A, indirect material, the whole list across 180 plants, okay? And they achieved a remarkable turnaround. And why this story is important? Because India was also part of this transformation. And India in the last 3 years has improved its EBITDA by 400 basis points. So today, if you look at this slide, India, if you look at the value added revenue column, India is at 4,400 crores, which is about, let's say, a little more than $500 million of revenue, with 18.6% EBITDA, 12.6% profit after tax, and ROCE of 57%. Some of these numbers, as you can see, are pretty decent and strong numbers. And we typically look at value-added revenue and not total revenue from operations, is because we have certain pass-through components, which we call precious metals, like platinum, palladium, rhodium, which are applied on substrates, and the customer pays us a holding fee or holding cost. So these are essentially consigned to us. They are not part of our perimeter. And that's why we take total revenue, we subtract all the precious metals and substrates, which is part of the pass-through components, and we arrive at value-added revenue. So in terms of our performance, we typically look at VAR, or value-added revenues. So when you compare that to the peer average, so who are our peers? We've taken, again not we, CRISIL in our RHP has taken a mix of direct competitors and also best performers as MNCs and also domestic players. So in our peer average, you have Bosch, you have SKF, you have Timken, you have ZF, you have Sona, you have Uno Minda, you have Gabriel, companies like that. So even compared to the peer average, you can see that our numbers are much stronger, especially in the area of ROCE. I'll just quickly go over the competitive advantages of our company, of Tenneco India. So beyond saying that when you walk out of this room, think of R&D and technology, 5,000 patents. We also have a very, very, very strong applications engineering team in India. And we are very, very proud of our team in India. We also have 2 state-of-the-art R&D centers, one for clean air powertrain and one for suspension or advanced ride technologies. So the ability to take a generic patent and apply it in the Indian context and make that patent in a way that it's affordable, it has other properties like we can take weight out of the product, which gives the OEMs a CO2 benefit. We can package it in the given space. We can reduce validation costs by using standardized design. And we can improve time to market. And so we resonate on all of these attributes, and this is what makes us stand out. So these are our 2 products, product categories you can say. There's a left-hand side and there's a right-hand side. The left-hand side, as you can see, is clean air and powertrain solutions, and the right-hand side is advanced ride technologies. And these, for the most part, you can say is about 50-50, right, in terms of our revenue. So our 4,400 crores of sales, of value-added sales, is split equally between the two halves. In a way, this is also good for us as a natural hedge against electrification, because advanced ride technologies, it is totally agnostic to whatever motor you put, whether it's a petrol, diesel, or electric motor. It doesn't really matter. You can use any shock absorber. In fact, as you go to more and more electrification or electric vehicles, the kind of shock absorbers you need have to be more robust because of the nature of the EV. It's denser, it's heavier, etc. So that's good for us. On the left-hand side, our exposure there also to electrification is not much at all, because we have deliberately avoided segments like two-wheelers, three-wheelers, segments that will typically electrify faster. We are not part of that. And even on the passenger vehicle side, we are not present on some of the low-end, low displacement, low engine kind of vehicles. We are mostly in commercial trucks, off-highways, industrial, so on. So by default, if you do the mathematics of India's EV penetration today of 2.5% and multiply with our exposure, it's only 0.5%. So in a way, this gives us a natural hedge. But no matter how the pendulum swings one way or another towards full ICE or all electric vehicles, it doesn't matter for us, because we add more content on ride technologies, which is suspensions. Our market shares, we are either number 1 or number 2 in key end market segments. For example, we always say that 1 out of 2 passenger vehicles has a Tenneco shock absorber in India. And again, if you go out, 2 out of 3 commercial trucks in India has a Tenneco clean air system. And even in off-highway, you can see that we are a leader with over 60% of market share. So whether it's a Maruti, Tata, Ashok Leyland, Hyundai, etc., our relationships go back 20 plus years. So we are extremely sticky. We have very high resonance, and that's why OEMs have kept coming back to us time and time again when it comes to either technology, complexity, disruptive technology, or even new technology related to emissions legislation. On the bottom side, we are well diversified, I guess, well hedged. One is our two halves, like I said earlier, we're a 50-50 between the clean air powertrain and the shock absorber side. We are well diversified across end markets. We don't depend on any one single customer. That's the other beauty of this, is that all our customers are equally spread, and that gives us a natural hedge as well. And lastly, we are basically a domestic player. We don't really have much exports today. Our exports are about 5% of sales in terms of product sales. We also have some software engineering services exports, but this export area is where we want to grow in the future. Okay, so this slide is looking good. We have 12 manufacturing plants in India related to this IPO. All of these plants are located in and around customer assembly plants. And the great thing is that even our suppliers are located within our plants, within close proximity. So we are operating in a near JIT kind of mode, you could say. Our capacity utilization, if you look at the top left, is upwards of 80%. And this is one of the reasons, you could say, for the high ROCE. And the reason for that is we have a very unique product and process design methodology using standardized and modular parts. And this allows us to use pre-validated basic parts. Think of it like a Lego set, right? You have the basic Lego brick, which only comes in certain shapes and sizes. And then you reuse them for different purposes and different configurations. And the same principle applies to us. Some of the standard parts can be reused across multiple segments of commercial truck, off-highway, industrial, etc. And because of that, the validation costs for the customer are lowered, and we're also able to improve time to market. And that, again, translates to better ROCE. These are our board of directors. The top 3 people are in the independent directors. Niranjan Gupta is ex-CEO of Hero Motors and now is CFO of Unilever. Jaideep Brar is ex-McKinsey, has been a strategist over there for over 2 decades. And Gopika Pant is also an independent director. She runs her own law firm and she's on other prestigious boards like Colgate-Palmolive.
अरविंद जी ने आपको बताया about our company, our strength and our tailwinds which are in front of us. What I will discuss with you is about our strategy. And strategy, we are very, very excited about our strategy because this creates the differentiation for us in the market to continue to win. Now, this sorry, I have to change the slide first. Yeah, these are the strategies. Now you have to see these strategies from three broader pillars. Number 1 and 2. This is about how we leverage the mega market trends in the Indian industries and also in the globe. Out of which one is the regulation, the regulatory part of it, and the other is the premiumization. The second pillar is about, and then what you need with legislation and premiumization are the new products, the proven product technologies, and this is where our strength lies. And then the second bucket is about localization of these products and technologies in India, not only for the domestic market, but also for the export, right? That will open up a substantial international market for us, making India as the export hub. And then the third bucket and the third pillar for our strategy is to focus on three things. One is the local R&D capabilities. Second is the cross BU synergy. And the third one is to continue to improve our operational efficiency that will give us the continuous winnability in the market, not only today, but also into the future. Right? So I'll talk about some of the key ones in the following slides. Let's talk about the emission regulations. Why this is so important? Right? So any car, truck, आपने देखा होगा, tractor, even generator, सब जगह पे ये system लगते हैं हमारे. And the system which we provide to our customer, they are called mission critical systems. And why is that so? क्योंकि जो exhaust, जो धुआं होता है, उसमें जो pollutants निकलते हैं, criteria pollutants उनको बोलते हैं. Carbon monoxide, hydrocarbons, NOx gases, soot particles. They make human very, very unhealthy, right? And that is why not only in India, globally, governments are trying to do a restriction कि इस जो भी ये जो criteria pollutants निकलते हैं, how you can reduce these criteria pollutants in the exhaust system. And our system ensures that the criteria pollutants which are coming out, they are to that level. And that is why I can say ये जो emission regulations हैं, they will continue to become stricter and stricter going forward. Past में हमने देखा BS4 से सीधे BS6 जंप किया हमने, जहाँ हम 10-15 साल पीछे हुआ करते थे US, यूरोप से, where in just one leap we came very close to these geographies, right? BS6 has changed to RDE norms, right? Just in past 5 years, we have seen regulation of the stationary engines like generators. We have seen regulations coming in construction equipment, CEV5. We have seen regulations coming in tractor segment, TREM 4, right? So every segment of the automotive, right, has seen some sort of a regulation, right? And this will continue to happen, and this gives us the big opportunity to not only improve our content per vehicle, but also to gain more market share. Because what does customer want? Customer क्या चाहिए रहता है? They want proven technology, but then more than proven technology, what they need is the ability to apply these proven technology to India's specific needs.
So we learned about Tenneco, Tenneco Global, Tenneco India. We know the strengths of Tenneco, the strategies, the growth levers that we have for the next phase of our journey. Now, I'll take you through the financials for the last couple of years. So if you look at the revenue, value-added revenue, our revenue has grown by 6% CAGR over the last 2 years, from 23 to 25. Whereas the market had grown by 3 to 3.5%. So we have clearly outpaced the market. If you look at the margins, in terms of EBITDA, very strong margins. 18.6% EBITDA in FY25. Not only that, look at the improvement in the last 2 years. From 23 to 25, we have improved our margins by 400 basis points. And this has come because of the operating model that we have in place, which is now part of our DNA, which has helped us in kind of optimizing the cost across the line items of the P&L. Be it raw material cost, conversion cost, manpower productivity, fixed assets rationalization, SG&A across the P&L line items. And this is based on a very strong foundation. It's a very structured change. There is no one-off or ad hoc or some gain which has come by accident. No, it is structured change, and hence these margins are sustainable. Coming to profit after tax is more or less in line with the EBITDA. Look at the return on capital employed, 57%. I think best in the industry for sure, but best, I mean one of the best in the overall market as well. And I'll tell you why we are kind of having such a strong return on capital employed. Capital expenditure. So when we invest into capital expenditure, we get very, very high efficiency. We have a very efficient way of investing in the capex. Look at the fixed assets turnover ratio, 1:8, 1:9. Meaning for every 1 rupee that I invest in fixed assets, I get 8 to 9 rupees of revenue on an annualized basis. This is on net block. And if you look at the gross block, for every 1 rupee that we invest, we get about 4x or 4 rupees of annualized revenue. And how is this happening? So we have a very standardized and modular approach for investment into the capex, meaning one plant can produce more than one product, and likewise many plants can produce one product. It's pretty flexible, pretty standardized, and hence we get very efficient FAR, and asset utilization is more than 80%. So today my capacity utilization is more than 80%. Look at the cash conversion cycle. So there are 3 important elements of working capital we know: receivables, payables and inventory. We have a negative cash conversion cycle, meaning Tenneco India doesn't have any money blocked or invested in these 3 elements of the working capital, which is a great thing to have. So we are working on money, we are working on without investing any money in the working capital. Because of this fixed asset turnover ratio, which is very high, and also very efficient cash conversion cycle, we see our ROCE was at 57%. Free cash flow. So this is the cash flow that we generate, free cash flow, as a percentage to EBITDA. We generate about 60 to 65% free cash flow. Very healthy cash flow generation. That's also because of the cash conversion cycle, because we don't have any investment in the cash, in those 3 elements of the working capital. So, and we are a debt-free company, cash-rich company. Tenneco India doesn't have any borrowing on the balance sheet, so it's a debt-free company. So overall, if I have to summarize the financial position of Tenneco India, very strong balance sheet, debt-free, high ROCE, very good EBITDA, very efficient capital management. So I mean, as an organization, we are not only focusing on the P&L, we are focusing on the overall financial health of the business.
I have 2 questions. One is, what are you exporting? Where are you exporting? And is it made in India? And my second question is, Tenneco is all about cleaner air. So, if you are asked to coin a slogan for everyday commuter of India, what would it be?
Okay, exports, today our exports, product exports, is only 5% of sales.
5% of
Yeah.
5%
of value-added revenue. So it's very small. If you compare us to other big multinationals like Bosch and Conti and Schaeffler, I'm sure by now they have a much higher percentage of sales that goes to exports. For us, it was never a strategy. For a long time, Tenneco was doing local for local. But now that the tailwinds have opened up for exports, as Rishi said, technology is equalized, which means whatever we are selling in India is also selling overseas. And because many Western OEMs themselves are pushing for India to be used as an export base, it's also coming from the customer. So that's the reason. It's going to about 20 countries today. Yeah, so about 20 countries we're exporting to. In the future, our exports will grow, both exports from Tenneco India to third parties, but also exports from Tenneco India back to Tenneco corporate, because of labor cost arbitrage, and also, like I said, customers are themselves pushing us in that area. To answer your second question on clean air, what would a slogan be? We often say that we offer a comfortable ride inside the vehicle and clean air outside the vehicle. That's another way. Or we could say green skies and comfortable rides. Again, there's different mottos and epithets that we can use. But I'm very happy. If you have any suggestion that we could use on our website and as collateral, I'd be very happy to discuss.